Every time that you leave my house, I fear that your trust.
Hey everybody, for this video I'll be talking about my CD collection, but instead of just talking about all the CDs that I have, I just decided to break it down into one category, and that category is favorite CDs. Well, let's start, shall we? Okay, so for my first group that I'm into, my favorite CDs, or CD collection, I guess, because I don't actually have all the CDs by these people. Sometimes it's just kind of like I just feel and like I really adore the music that I'm into or by these people, but I don't necessarily have every CD by them. I've been doing this for a long time. Some of the CDs I've actually sold or lost or given to a friend for sentimental value or some stuff like that. But anyways, let's start off. For my first favorite group, this is actually my current favorite band. It's Senses Fail. So I actually have all the CDs by them. Let me try and get it to the camera so you can see it all, but I want to make sure I do it right. It's kind of hard to see it, but I actually have all their CDs. They've been a favorite of mine for about a very long time. I don't know, since high school, as I always bring up. But yeah, they've been a favorite of mine for quite some time. I actually just got every CD by them. About a few years ago, I was having a hard time just in life and just like, you know, going through depression and shit like that, and their music really helped me out. So if I was to name what CD was actually my favorite or just like most special to me or anything like that, I would have to say it would probably be Renacer, because it's just a very motivational album for anybody going through a hard time in life, and it just lets you know that if you ever come up short, just keep going and you'll get through it and everything like that. And I like the songs on it too. I think my favorite song on here, well, no, I don't even want to say favorite because it'll probably be every song on here, but Renacer, Holy Mountain, Mi Amor, Closure Rebirth, The Path. I think K9 was probably one of my least favorites, but I still listen to it. This whole album is just full of bangers. Ancient Tombs. Frostflower is probably one of my favorites. Frostflower and Glass are probably my favorites. Snakebite is a good one. Courage of the Knife is a good one. And Between the Mountain and the Sea is a good ender. I like slow songs at the end of a good album. So yeah, it was everything I was looking for. I think back to when I was like first getting into music and everything. What got me into Deftones, and I think specifically what got me into Deftones was actually going to Knotfest and actually like seeing Sex Tape be performed live. I think that was kind of like an experience that kind of changed my life, because it was just such a soothing moment, and it was kind of just like an in the moment thing to where if you had a camera, it still wouldn't even match just being there and actually just like experiencing it for yourself. I think that more than anything influenced me to get into this group even further. I'm not really ashamed to say that when I first got into them, I didn't actually own the CDs. My friend owned the CDs, and I had a computer, but I didn't really use it as much, and I didn't have a phone either when I was younger and first getting into music. So I didn't really know what the lyrics were to the songs. Some of them I knew what the lyrics were, but I think when I got out of high school and I graduated and everything like that, I still didn't have a phone, so I used to go to the library and look up lyrics to songs and CDs that I owned, or new music that I was getting into, or and stuff like that, heard on the radio, shit like that. And I used to look up the lyrics to it, and I was like, wow, it's almost as if this man is speaking poetry, just like Senses Fail. And it's just a deep felt lyrics. So yeah. Another group of mine that is a favorite Um, I used to listen to. I just got into them. I think about 3-4 years ago. Yeah, 3-4 years ago. But I think the reason for me actually listening to this group has some deep depression issues and anxiety, deep depression and anxiety issues. But I still listen to them, and I've actually come to terms with like being depressed and shit like that. I'm not really depressed anymore, but like when I was going through depression, it used to be hard to listen to this group and not feel depressed. But I am no longer in that state of mind, so I just listen to them in general, and I don't really feel depressed or sad or anything like that. I just like the way that they sound and how creepy the music is and just the way it sounds. So yeah. But it's Sunny Day Real Estate. This is a very like dark group, a very emo group from the mid '90s, and I really like their music. I like the message in their music. I feel like I could relate to it a lot. I almost feel like they're talking about me exactly because I feel like me and Jeremy Enoch, at the time of him making this music, had a lot that we could relate over. So yeah. Can't forget to show the CD cover, as I always do. If I had to name a CD from Sunny Day that is my favorite, I would probably have to say all of them are. I think all of them have equal value, and I like each CD equally. I could just like close my eyes, and before I go to work or go out or somewhere, just pick up a CD. I think I would enjoy it just as much as I would enjoy any other CD by Sunny Day Real Estate, just because I like the way that they sound. And their sound is the same, it's just different in a way. Each song has that dark sound to it, but at the same time it's a different CD, so each song has a different meaning and stuff like that. But I would say it would be a draw between all of them, because that's how much I like their music. So yeah. Okay, so I think if I'm correct, I think I've done about three of them. So my fourth one would have to be, since I just did Sunny Day Real Estate, I would have to do the Foo Fighters. I really like the Foo Fighters. I think their music is very happy and has a very positive meaning to it. Me being a Sunny Day Real Estate fan, how could I not be a Foo Fighters fan? I mean, they're practically cousins. So I have, except for Concrete Jungle, I actually have all their CDs, all the CDs that could be bought on disc. So yeah, been a fan of this group for a pretty long time, and this is definitely when I was in high school, this was definitely a group that was my favorite. People would ask me what my favorite rock group was, and I would break it down into categories. I would always say that along the lines of rock music, or no, alternative rock, because that's what Foo Fighters are. They're alternative. Along the lines of alternative, I say Foo Fighters are my favorite group. They sound good. Their music is fast-paced, and not to mention that Dave Grohl used to be with the Foo Fighters. I mean, he is with the Foo Fighters. Dave Grohl used to be with Nirvana. He used to be the drummer for Nirvana. So yeah, that's definitely like any Nirvana fan. All these people come together as grunge, and they're pretty much grunge groups, but they all have that small amount of grunge, but they're either emo or alternative or just punk or something. I actually used to have a T-shirt that I used to hang up on my wall. Sometimes I would have because I had a Foo Fighters band T-shirt, and I wore it for a short amount of time, but I think after a while I just it's not that I got sick of wearing it, but I was like, dude, I've never fucking had a T-shirt on my wall before, because like I had hella band posters. Even when I had an apartment, I had band posters, but I never really put T-shirts up. So I did that. I folded it up. I folded the arms up in the back of the shirt, so it was just a square and it said Foo Fighters. It was a gray t-shirt and it had the F, the double F on it. The old school double F, not the new school double F from Concrete Jungle. But yeah, that was like the coolest fucking thing ever, just because I'd never done it before. It's like I never thought to put a t-shirt on my wall, because I can actually like afford to buy clothes and shit like that now. So yeah, before I had to like scrounge up money to buy CDs and shit like that, because I used to like have to do allowances, and my mom would give me a few dollars here and there. It'd be like $10 or something, and then I'd go to my friend and I'd ask him to go on Amazon and buy me because I didn't have a card to buy stuff off of, and my mom wouldn't let me use her card, so I used to have to ask him to and his mom didn't want nobody else to like know her card information, so we had to do it at her house. And so I would give my friend like a few dollars here and there, and which I didn't really get a lot of money at the time, but every once in a while I would get some money for some CDs and buy them on Amazon. I'd give him the money, and then he would do it on the weekend and buy the CD, and then I'd get it in a few weeks. And this one, Wasting Light, this one is a really good one. This was actually my first CD by them that I actually bought. I think this is like getting into music in general. I think this was the first CD I bought, because I used to when I first got into music, I had a music downloading site, obviously Windows Media Player. I used to use LimeWire like crazy though, until they shut it down a few years later. I think it was like a year or two later they shut that bitch down. And then we used to burn CDs, and then eventually after doing that for a while, we actually just started to buy CDs, and then we just started a collection. After I started buying CDs, I used to hate. Once I got into the groove of it, I used to hate burning CDs. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but I don't really like doing this anymore. For one, the CD looks like shit, and then it doesn't really have a cover to it. But the only reason why we used to burn CDs was we used to download the music on our fucking Xboxes, so we could play wrestling and use the music for our entrances. Other than that, we just used to trash it. We didn't really use them. For anything else other than that. Put it in the Xbox, take it out, trash that shit. So yeah. That's the end of this video, but I'll actually be making a part 2 to this video, and a few more parts to this video. And I'll put the camera for this, because I have a lot of fucking CDs, if you didn't notice. So, thank you guys for watching my video, and stay tuned because there will be a few more videos to this video. Bye.
I don't wanna be told to grow up.